My name is Brianna Sinclair, and this is my 63rd week on HRT. If you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. You can follow me on my Discord, my Blue Sky, and I do have an X account. On my channel, I post mostly transgender content, and if you would like to see something specific or would like me to cover a specific topic, please drop those down in the comments below, and I would be more than happy to oblige. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So as I said, it is my 63rd week, and here is the measurements update. My hips are 36 and a half, my bust is 37 and 3/4, and my waist is 25 and a half. So my measurements are the same with the exception that my waist has gone up another 1/4 inch, and I think that's due to like the fact that my waist trainer was a little older, and I think I had it for like, I think it was like 4 years. That's how old it was. And one of the ribs broke. So I ended up getting another one. I'm waiting for that to come in. I needed a smaller one anyway, and so they took my measurements and they're custom making one. And I can share like the company that I'm buying mine from, if anyone wants to know that. But the company I buy it from specializes in fajas, so usually they're pretty sturdy. A faja is a garment for like BBLs and stuff. It helps keep pressure on the waist and also like kind of shapes like the butt, if you know what a BBL is. My emotional state has been pretty stable, I think, for the most part. I do find I'm less patient and I'm headier. I don't know what that has to do with like kind of my hormones. I don't know if that's just like the way like I'm treated at some points where it's like, okay, I can't like say what I need to say or something like that, or it might just be because I'm not used to saying like what I normally would say at my other job, and I kind of express that elsewhere. Hair reduction. I am noticing that my hair is growing slower still, but recently I think it's kind of stopped. Yeah, that's not true. It's still kind of slowing down, but it's gradual. But over the course of my entire transition, I have noticed that some hair on my body has thinned out, and while in other places it hasn't thinned, but it's slowed. Like it may not have necessarily thinned out completely like on my face, but it started growing significantly like slower, and that honestly makes me feel a lot better. I hate my body hair, and kind of having it slow and not, I guess, grow as rampant as it did makes me feel a lot better, because it's a lot healthier for my skin, because I'm no longer like scraping my skin raw. I'm actually like able to enjoy kind of like being hairless and feminine for a little bit. I don't know, to me, being like not having like hair on my body makes me feel really feminine, and it makes me feel good because like I'm soft. And yes, I have an obsession with like really soft things. That's why I like leggings and like really soft like plush things. I'm very much a touchy-feely kind of person. I don't know what that is about me, but yes, I do like soft things, and like having my body soft makes me feel good. Breast growth. They're still hurting and they are still growing, which is surprising to me. I honestly never expected them to get as big as they are. I would still want them to get bigger, but I think my mom is about the size that I'm at, or she was. She got a breast augmentation, so, and that was years ago, so I don't remember. That, like, I never really looked at my mom's chest that way. It was because she's my mother. So it's not something that, like, I ever really did. Not even as a boy, because that's just weird, in my opinion. But yeah, they still really hurt, and it's mostly like whenever pressure is applied, it's mostly around like the areola that it hurts, and I'm not 100% sure what that means. There's like a firm structure underneath, but it's not, they're definitely not fully developed, just because they feel a little different than like a normal cis woman's breast would. But I think that's just due to the fact that they're like they're not fully developed yet. I haven't really looked into it, but that's kind of my explanation, because everything I've looked into in regards to like how it develops has said that, like, yes, they develop almost identically. The tissue structure is very similar to that of a cis woman's for a trans woman. So I think that would explain why they feel just a little different. But I'll look into it a little bit more. Fat redistribution. I haven't really noticed anything recently, except like of my measurements, my waist measurement's the one that really changes, and I'm pretty sure that's just due to the fact that I'm not waist training 24/7 or 16 hours out of the day, because my waist did used to be very small. I could get it down to like 18 inches, and I was super proud of it, because the world record was like 16. I was like 2 inches away. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of cool. I thought the world record would be a lot smaller, but we'll see. Hopefully with my new waist trainer, and if I can get a smaller, I might have to get like stages and like small. I think this one's gonna be either a small or like a 1 or 2 XS. Sex drive. Still unchanged. I guess like my motivation to do anything sexual is kind of just, I don't know, it's purely emotional based, and it's like, if I want to, I can, but it's like, I don't really feel the need to. Like, wanting to, sure, that's not an issue, but it's like, I don't know, it's like I don't necessarily need it anymore. I have a lot more control over my desires in that aspect, and like what I like to do. Still very much physically demisexual, and sure, like there's always like someone who comes on to me. It's really weird. Here I've almost been like kidnapped twice, and it's awkward as hell, because usually every time they've been like extremely drunk, and I've just been helping them to their car, and they're like, come with me. I'm like, no, and they're like, you should definitely come with me. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm just here to make sure that you get home safely, because I'd like to see y'all again, and hopefully keep providing like a good place for y'all to have fun and be yourselves. Yeah, it was really, one of them I thought was pretty funny, because she would ask like super crude questions, Um, she literally asked if, how do I say this without just getting like completely just going out about it? She basically said that, asked me if my male parts were, if I referred to them as like a female part. I was like a larger female part. And I was like, I didn't quite know how to answer it, because I don't really name my parts first off, and I just kind of call them what they are, because I feel like I'm very much based in like facts, and I'm not really into like just changing the name of that area, because it is what it is, and I kind of refer to it as such. So, and they are always surprised that like I haven't had surgery, and I guess they see something that I don't, because to me I still see like the boy that I was, the boy that I went to high school as, that I grew up as, that my entire family knew, and some think that they know. I just don't necessarily always see like Brianna looking back at me. Sometimes I do. It's not like I never see her. Sometimes it's a little hard, and it takes a little bit of effort sometimes. And sure, like having boobs helps, like showing cleavage helps and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's a girl, or close. And it does make me feel good to be a girl. I like being able to live me as me. I'm more comfortable, sure, and I'm definitely more confident. I can still fight, surprisingly. I did have to fight a little while ago, and I won. And it was surprising because I'm 130 pounds and my challenger was 240. And they did not win. Kind of like my background and like fighting is I just wrestled in high school and junior high. That's the only real like combat training I've ever had, and it's not even really combat, it's just ground training. Which is surprising. The joke kind of came about as like, you're the reason that like transgender women aren't allowed in sports. And I thought it was funny because no one really expected me to be as strong as I was and am. I've been able to just lift up things my own weight with my arms, and it surprises people. Me being tired. Still very much tired and exhausted. I do drink an energy drink a day at least, just to keep me awake, and of course it doesn't help that I don't sleep too well, but it is what it is, and it'll get better one day. I hope so. My muscle development. I definitely lost a lot of muscle. Not between last week and this week, but just from start to finish. I'm definitely not as strong as I used to be. But recently I haven't noticed like any of my muscle kind of deteriorating because I consistently use a lot of my muscle to kind of like run my business. I'm constantly lifting heavy things, and like usually that comes in the form of like daily grocery shopping, in which case like I am not the kind of person that likes to take multiple trips, so I try and get everything I can in one trip. And if I have to make multiple, I will, but as few as possible is preferred. So I'll walk up with like almost 80 to 100 pounds in just materials every time I go to the car, at least. My voice, still trying to practice my voice, but I don't necessarily like focus on it. I guess I'm more worried that like I guess I'm just gonna damage it, but I know I need to practice more, and I think I'm gonna start dedicating more time to it because I would really like it to just become like a natural part of like me, and not have to like worry about like my voice anymore. There's many transgender women out there that they practice for years and they eventually get it, and they sound so beautiful. And I'd like to get there just as quickly as possible, and so I think in this one it's kind of weird because I understand that slow and steady wins the race, but I would like to be able to like make it an actual habit. I do enjoy being a girl, even though it has cost me a lot. And I'm still going through everything. I just hope that the end result was worth what I lost. As of right now, it's a little hard to see it, but I know everything happens for a reason, and at some point, it's going to get better. And that's not to say like I'm not having a great time. I am a business owner. I am coming into my true self, and I'm figuring me out a little bit more. And sometimes it's kind of necessary. I'm having to start over a little bit, but I think it's kind of necessary to take a couple steps back sometimes. And with that being said, let's take a couple steps. I know there's been a lot going on as far as like our rights and like our freedoms go. I know that the Supreme Court just kind of like asked to overturn not Roe versus Wade, Jesus Christ, gay marriage. I hope that doesn't happen because yes, the possibility still rings true that like I could find someone else and that person, I think the odds are more in the favor of it being a guy. I don't know if I want to get married again. I don't know if I want a serious relationship like that again because yes, it hurt so bad to lose my ex-wife for the reason that I did. And I just don't want to have to go through that again, or the potential for that to happen again. So the next time I'm with someone, I would like for it to be forever. If I'm with someone again. still waiting on my job to kind of like give me word as to whether or not they want me back or not. They haven't completely let me go, and I think September 1st is the deadline. That's the cutoff. Which is a couple weeks away. I think it's like 2. And from there, I'm not sure what happens. I guess I just run my business and try and get everything in my life squared away. At some point, I do plan to go home, and I would like to see my family and show them that, like, the woman I've become. They know me as a boy, and my siblings have never seen me as a girl. At least not in person. And I don't know if they check, like, my social media accounts at all. But they've never actually, like, seen me since I started my transition. And yes, that is due to me being banned from, like, the house for being transgender, because my mom didn't want me to influence my younger siblings into transitioning. And that's fine. I went along with it because I was just happy that I wasn't disowned, to be honest with you. I knew I was going to lose a lot. I didn't expect to lose everything that I did, but I knew I was going to lose a lot. And I am working through it. I just can't wait until I'm finished working through it. I know it looks a little rough right now for everyone. It seems like, especially like for my transgender brothers and sisters, that the world is against us just because a select few people in power deem it to be so. For unjust reasons. But most people are not. Most people don't care. I've started to use like the women's restroom, and yes, I do get a little anxiety about it, because like I'm always worried about like what if someone like confronts me and I have to go through like the arguments of like I'm a transgender woman. I have no desire to see anyone other than like my partner naked. I couldn't care less what the other people are doing. I just want to do my business and leave. And sorry, there's like a massive busy street outside, and it is a little late, but that was a motorcycle driving by. And kind of from this, I've kind of learned that like most people genuinely don't care. They don't care what we do as long as we're not hurting anybody, and I mean no one any harm at all. I just try and get through everything that I can. I think that's it for now. I've had a very kind of boring week. I've been troubleshooting the DJ lights and stuff like that, because we did have an issue where all the lights went out, so the shows were kind of boring. And we finally got control over some of the lights, and I'm just happy to have that. So, if you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to see something specific, or if you want me to cover a specific topic, let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, this is Brianna Sinclair, signing off.